Warning: this video includes descriptions of acts that may cause some viewers discomfort. Please be advised when watching. Hello and welcome to this episode of the History of True Crime. Today we will delve into the brutal monster that is Edmund Kemper, the horrifying serial killer who engaged in acts of cannibalism and necrophilia. Edmund Kemper, also known as the Co-Ed Killer, was a notorious American serial killer who murdered 10 people, including his own family members, between 1964 and 1973. Kemper was born in Burbank, California in 1948 and had a tumultuous childhood. His parents divorced when he was 9 years old and he was sent to live with his paternal grandparents in North Fork, California. Kemper's relationship with his grandparents was strained and he began exhibiting violent behavior at a young age. He even killed his own cat and began torturing and killing other small animals. In 1964, at the age of 15, Kemper killed his grandmother with a hammer. One could argue this is barbaric even for a serial killer. The fact he killed his own family members in such a brutal way portrays just how monstrous he really is. He later killed his grandfather as well. He was diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia and sentenced to the Atascadero State Hospital for the criminally insane. However, some experts have argued that his diagnosis of schizophrenia was incorrect and that he actually had a sociopathic or psychopathic personality. During his time in the mental institution, Kemper was described as highly intelligent and charismatic. He was able to manipulate psychiatrists and convince them that he was making progress in his treatment, eventually leading to his release in 1969. He then moved to Santa Cruz, California. A few years after his release, in 1972, Kemper began a string of murders that would come to be known as the Co-Ed killings. He targeted young women, mostly college students, in the Santa Cruz area. He would pick them up while they were hitchhiking and then murder them. He also, horrifyingly, murdered his very own mother and one of her friends. He was known for the brutality of his murders, and the fact that he engaged in necrophilia and cannibalism with some of his victims' bodies just emphasizes the level of monster he is. Kemper's intelligence and charm helped him manipulate those around him, including psychiatrists and law enforcement officials. He was able to successfully fake mental illness to avoid prosecution for his early murders and gain release from a mental institution. Edmund Kemper's motivations for the murders have been a subject of much speculation, with some experts pointing to his childhood experiences and others to his sadistic personality disorder. His killing spree came to an end when he was arrested for the murder of a young woman. He was found guilty and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The arrest, on September 14, 1973, came after Kemper was stopped by the California Highway Patrol on a routine traffic violation, and a search of his car revealed evidence linking him to the murder. After his arrest, Kemper confessed to the Co-Ed killings and the murders of his own family members. He provided sadistic, detailed accounts of each crime and led investigators to the remains of several of his victims. In prison, Kemper has become something of a media sensation, with true crime authors, filmmakers, and journalists seeking interviews and information about his crimes. Some have even referred to him as a genius due to his high IQ and ability to manipulate those around him. Edmund's motivations for the murders have been a subject of much speculation. Some experts believe that his childhood experiences, including a tumultuous relationship with his mother, may have played a role in his violent behavior. Others believe that he had a sadistic personality disorder and derived pleasure from the act of killing. Possibly it was a combination of the two. Possibly he was just a genuinely evil person and there is little explanation or excuse for his crimes. Kemper's trial began in 1973 and lasted for several months. The prosecution presented evidence and testimony from witnesses and experts, including Kemper's own confession. He pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity, but the jury found him sane and guilty of 8 counts of first-degree murder. On November 8, 1973, Kemper was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. He was sent to the California Medical Facility in Vacaville, California, where he remains to this day. Kemper's sentencing marked the end of a brutal and violent crime spree that had terrorized the Santa Cruz community for over a year. Despite the heinous nature of his crimes, Kemper has gained a certain level of infamy in the media and remains a subject of fascination for true crime enthusiasts. His story serves as a chilling reminder of the dangers of allowing those with a history of violence to walk free, and the importance of proper diagnosis and treatment for those with mental health issues. It also highlights the need for continued vigilance and cooperation between law enforcement and the community to ensure public safety and bring criminals to justice. His arrest and conviction brought closure to the families and loved ones of his victims, and justice for the community as a whole. In conclusion, Edmund Kemper was a notorious American serial killer who murdered 10 people, including his own family members, between 1964 and 1973. His intelligence and charm helped him manipulate those around him, including psychiatrists and law enforcement officials. Kemper's motivations for the murders have been a subject of much speculation, with some experts pointing to his childhood experiences and others to his sadistic personality disorder. Despite his heinous crimes, he has gained a certain level of infamy in the media and remains a subject of fascination for true crime enthusiasts. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like and subscribe button, and do please share with your friends. Please drop your comments below on any future true crime stories you would love to learn more about and any suggestions for our next video. Subscribe to be in the loop and stay in the know for when our next video drops. And don't forget to check out our #1 resource in the description below. Thank you.